Hey, this is Dr. Augustine from the Fast Pain Relief Center here on Grand Island, New York. And if you are suffering from dizziness, balance troubles, you're in the right place. Number one, take a look at the rest of the website. It'll give you a bunch of information about what we can do for balance and dizziness problems. You know, if you're currently suffering with those types of problems, I know how debilitating it can be. Number one, just getting around, simply walking. You don't know whether your feet are going to be under you or not. You know, getting up out of a chair is difficult. Maybe even driving is tough, turning your head because it brings on some dizziness or balance problem. You feel awkward. You feel like you might tip over. What a lot of patients tell me when they're walking, someplace new, they're kind of, feeling for walls and kind of always touching something. As long as you're touching something, you're okay. But the minute somebody kind of bumps you, maybe you stay away from crowds for that reason, or malls and things like that, because if you get bumped, you know what's going to happen. You're going to fall. And I would say at least 80% of my patients that do have dizziness balance problems have at least taken, one or two falls from it. It catches them off guard. So being dizzy, having balance issues can be a real struggle. And for a lot of the patients that I see, they're often, 50 plus. Some of them, don't have, some of the people that are a little bit older than that, they don't have anybody living with them, which is even more of a concern for me with the dizziness and balance is, what if you fall and you break a hip? Now, things get much more difficult. So there may be some things that we can do for your balance or dizziness issues. Whether you suffer from just walking, you feel off balance, whether you turn your head and you feel, your eyes kind of spin, you feel like you're spinning, or you feel like the room is spinning, those are all different forms of dizziness. Or maybe it's when you lay down and close your eyes and put your head back a little bit that the dizziness starts to come on. Well, that's another form of dizziness. And you really have to find out what type of dizziness that you have. In fact, some people that come in, their dizziness is caused from the medications that they're taking. Now, I'm not going to tell you to get off your medications in any way, but what I will tell you is that there's nothing that I can do for that. I mean, you have to work that out with the person who put you on the medication, your doctor. But if that's the cause, then that's the cause, and there's nothing, nothing more that I will do except for tell you that, which is vital information. I've been in practice for almost 13 years now, and what I've really learned over those 13 years has been that, some people really, really want to get better, and then you have another group of people that say they want to get better, but don't want to do the things that are needed to get better. I personally only want to work with the first group. People that if you find a problem, you tell them what it is, and they're telling me, what can I do to get better? What exercise can I do? What can I take to get better faster? What can I do to get better faster? I can't tell you how many times I hear that. Those are the people I want to work with. So if that is you and you're seriously interested about getting better, about improving your balance, your dizziness, then my office is the right place for you. And I'll get to that in a minute. But oftentimes what we see with dizziness patients is there's a problem with a particular part of the brain right back here called the cerebellum. You may have heard of it before. It's actually the oldest area of the brain. And the cerebellum has a lot to do with balance problems. These are the same tests that are done when you see people doing the DWI tests. They're touching their fingers to the nose. They're walking what we call tandem gait, putting one foot in front of the other. They're standing up straight with their feet together, eyes closed, and touching their nose. And they can't do it. If you can't do that, folks, if you can't stand with your 2 feet together, and close your eyes and stand there for 10, 12 seconds, you've got a problem. Particularly with the cerebellum part of the brain. So how do you go about finding that out and fixing it? Number one is that one test I gave you, that's just one simple test. There's many more that we do when we examine patients for their dizziness problems and their balance issues. In addition to that, how do you kind of go about fixing it? Well, that's a little bit more complicated in the fact that it may be caused from a metabolic issue. And what I mean by that, we want to look at lab tests. I want to look at the comprehensive approach of what's going on with your body. Not only that, I also want to look at what is happening, again, how the brain is functioning. Is it being stimulated properly? One thing that we use in our office is a special piece of software that has been featured on CNN News, the CBS Early Show, for people that suffer with dizziness and balance disorders. And it's a really cool piece of software because it stimulates the brain. Now, when you're taking different medications for balance or dizziness problems, that simply suppresses the brain. Okay? 95% of them, let me clarify that. But what you want to do is find out where the source of the problem is. And for most people, I can tell you it's the cerebellum. Sometimes it's other lobes of the brain as well. But you can stimulate certain areas of the brain very specifically to help you with your balance problems. You know, maybe you've been through physical therapy and been through rehab and you don't feel any better. It's been the same, or perhaps it's even worse. That's okay. You can still potentially be a candidate for my dizziness and balance treatment. So if you're sick and tired of being dizzy, you know, turning your head and the room's spinning, waking up in the morning and you're dizzy, maybe you have kids to take care of and you simply can't even focus on them because you don't feel well. Or maybe your wife or husband wants to go out and you can't even literally walk too well because you're afraid that you're going to fall. You're what we call wall walking. You have balance problems. Maybe you have numbness even in your feet. Well, like I said, I've been doing this for almost 13 years now, and what I found is we're able to help out a lot of those people. And I'm going to make this really, really easy for you because I want to help you. I want to give you 2 free visits to come into my office to see if you qualify for my dizziness and balance program. Here's the number one question I get from a lot of people is, why are you giving away 2 free visits? You're going to get taken. People are going to take advantage of you. Well, I'm not so much concerned about getting taken advantage of. You know, if it's my heart to help you, I'd rather help you. If I can reach out to one more person, it's worth it in my books. To give somebody their life back by getting their balance or their dizziness restored is priceless in my opinion. So if you are interested in getting those 2 free visits, all you do is have to call us at 716-773-4707. Or just click on the link above that says 2 free visits. I would really like to meet you and see if we can help you with your balance problems so you can start enjoying life again. You can get your answers that you want and possibly get your life back. So again, I'm Dr. Kevin Augustine from the Fast Pain Relief Center here on Grand Island, New York. And if you are very serious about getting rid of your balance and dizziness problems, just go ahead and give us a call, and I'd be more than happy to help you.